And we're back for part 2 of our deep dive into the really interesting world of Dr. Yanhui Kuo.
Yeah, this has been quite a journey so far. Last time we left off, we were really digging into this incredible Yi-Jing curriculum that he's got on YouTube, and it's all free, which is just wild to me.
Oh, right. We explored 6 of the 8 dimensions, and we talked about everything from, how to use the Yi-Jing to understand financial markets and global events, geopolitics, to personal development, and even how to, integrate technology and AI. And every dimension was just packed with insights about how we can apply these ancient principles to the challenges that we face today.
It's amazing, isn't it? Like who would thought that this ancient text could be so relevant to our lives in the 21st century?
It really is, and the amazing thing is we still have 2 more dimensions to explore. So should we keep going?
Oh, absolutely. I'm eager to see what other insights Dr. Kuo has to share with us. What's next?
Okay, so Dimension 7. This one's called Health Optimization and Holistic Living, and it's all about well-being and living a balanced life. So it takes some more personal turn, more focused on you as an individual.
I'm curious to see how he connects the Yi-Jing to something, as personal as health.
Yeah, so it seems like he really approaches health from a holistic point of view. He recognizes that our physical health and our mental health and our emotional well-being, they're all connected. And in his video, Eating the Rainbow, the yin-yang way, superfoods that nourish body and soul, he explores how the principles of the Yi-Jing can help us, live a healthier and more nourishing life.
So it's not just about, diet and exercise. It's about the whole energy of our lives. Making sure everything's in balance.
Exactly. It's about creating a lifestyle that really supports our well-being on every level. He even has a video about using feng shui to design your office space, and that's all about creating a workspace that promotes productivity and a sense of well-being.
It's funny, when I first heard about Dr. Kuo using feng shui, I thought, wait a minute, isn't that just about where you put your furniture? But now I'm starting to see how it ties into this bigger concept of energy and harmony and creating spaces that support us.
Yeah, it's all about those subtle energies, right? Yeah. And how we can, work with them to create environments that are good for us. And that brings us to the last dimension 8. This one is a big one. It's called Cosmological Patterns and Predictive Systems.
Ooh, this is the one that I've been really curious about. We're talking about comets and eclipses and the Big Bang. It sounds like we're venturing into the cosmos,
Yeah.
Like out there in the universe.
It really does, yeah. And it seems like Dr. Kuo is exploring this idea that there are these bigger cycles, these bigger patterns, that are happening in the universe, and that if we can understand them, if we can understand these patterns, we can gain a deeper understanding of our own lives, like our place in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, and his video, The Devil Comet Returns in Total Solar Eclipse, Celestial Metaphors Predicting the 2024-25 Earthquake. I mean, that title alone is enough to make you want to watch it. Is he saying that these celestial events can actually predict earthquakes?
I think he's probably using these events more as metaphors, to explore the cyclical nature of the universe and how we can use the Yi-Jing to understand these bigger patterns of change. And it's really interesting, right? Because he's bringing together, ancient wisdom and modern science, astronomy.
Yeah, it's like he's using the Yi-Jing as a cosmic roadmap, to help us navigate the mysteries of the universe and understand where we fit into it all.
It is like that. It's a bold undertaking, but it shows how intellectually curious he is, and that he's not afraid to explore ideas that might be considered a little bit unconventional.
It's inspiring, Okay, well, we've made it. We've gone through all 8 dimensions of his free Yi-Jing curriculum on YouTube. I mean, that's just incredible. It's an incredible resource, and I'm definitely going to be spending some time with those videos.
Oh yeah, you definitely should. I mean, there's something there for everyone. It doesn't, no matter what your background is, no matter what you're interested in. But don't forget, he also has those personalized services for those who want to take it to the next level, go a little bit deeper.
Oh yeah, that's right. We talked about his 3 membership tiers.
Yeah.
With different levels of support and analysis and access to his expertise.
Yeah, exactly. So there's the unique member insights tier where you get, early access to the videos, and you can unlock that personalized report. And then, all the way up to the diamond membership, which gives you access to that exclusive chat room and the most comprehensive personalized analysis.
It's just incredible that he's made this ancient wisdom so accessible. There's really an option for everyone, whether you're just starting out or you've been studying this stuff for years. But let's switch gears for a second. Do you remember that story that we mentioned earlier about how Dr. Kua's work actually helped to intercept a huge amount of illegal drugs?
Oh yeah, that was a wild story.
Yeah, I'd love to hear more about that. It sounded like something out of a movie. Like how did he do that? How did he pull that off?
Well, it all goes back to his skills in data analysis, and his ability to see patterns that other people might miss. So he was working with the World Customs Organization, and he was looking at their data on customs activity, from previous years.
The World Customs Organization, that's a big deal.
It is a big deal. It's this intergovernmental organization that sets the standards for customs procedures all around the world, and their goal is to make global trade easier, but also to make sure that it's secure. So Dr. Kugo's role was to help them improve their systems for classifying goods and tracking them, using his data-driven approach.
So he's not just sitting at an ivory tower writing papers. He's actually out there making a real difference in the world and on an international level too.
Exactly. And in this case, when he was analyzing all this customs data, he started to see these patterns, and these patterns suggested that there might be some smuggling going on. And by identifying those patterns, he was able to help authorities achieve a 90% detection rate, which is huge. And it led to them intercepting almost a ton of illegal drugs in just 6 months.
Wow. That's an incredible result. It really shows that the power that data science can have. It can actually make the world a safer place. It can,
and it also shows Dr. Ku's ability to connect these different fields, these different areas of expertise. He's taking his knowledge of data analysis, which he got from his work in finance and economics, and he's applying it to a completely different problem, a completely different domain. Global supply chain security.
It's a great example of how the skills and the knowledge that we have can actually be transferable. We can take them and apply them to different problems in different areas, especially when you have someone like Dr. Ku who can see the bigger picture and connect the dots.
Yeah, he's not just a specialist in one narrow area. He's more of a polymath. Someone who's comfortable working with complex systems and applying their knowledge to a variety of different situations.
It's fascinating how his work with the World Customs Organization really connects to his broader expertise in supply chain management.
Yeah.
It's like he's looking at this flow of goods and information on a global scale, and he's trying to identify those risks and those vulnerabilities and then develop strategies to deal with them.
Yeah, and it's all about managing risk effectively. Remember that quote we mentioned before, you cannot manage what you cannot measure.
Oh yeah. That's a good one. It's so simple, but it's so true.
Yeah. And he really stresses the importance of analyzing data and building models to help us assess risk and identify those weak points, those vulnerabilities, and then, develop strategies to address those risks.
So it's not about like avoiding risk completely. It's about understanding it and making informed decisions, making smart decisions.
Exactly, calculated risks, right? Using data to make better choices. And he also talks about, how important it is to have specialized skills in risk management, like data governance and AI model governance.
Oh yeah, that's so important, especially now, when we're relying more and more on data and algorithms to make decisions.
Yeah, and he also talks about the importance of risk scenarios. Those what if exercises that help organizations think about what could go wrong and plan for how they'll respond.
So it's about being proactive, right? Not just reacting to things when they happen, which is so important in today's world.
Yeah.
When things are changing so quickly, and it's hard to predict what's going to happen next.
Yeah, and that's where Dr. Ku's expertise really comes in. He's helping organizations navigate this complex landscape, and he's giving them the tools, giving them the strategies that they need to manage risk effectively and to make good decisions.
It's amazing. It's amazing how he's managed to weave together so many different things. Data science and ancient wisdom and finance and supply chain management and risk management, and he's brought it all together into this approach that's both coherent and impactful.
Yeah. He's a true innovator. He's always pushing the boundaries, always trying to find new ways to use his knowledge to solve real world problems.
As we've been going through all these different aspects of his work, the thing that really stands out to me is his commitment to sustainability. It's not just a buzzword for him. It seems like it's really a core value. Like it's something that informs everything that he does.
I totally agree. Yeah, from his work on ESG integration, helping businesses be more sustainable, to the way he talks about environmental challenges in his Yi-Jing curriculum. It's clear that he's really committed to creating a more sustainable future for all of us.
And it's not just talk.
Yeah.
He's actually out there doing the work. He's doing the research, he's consulting, he's educating people.
He's a true advocate for sustainability, and it's really inspiring, to see someone with his level of expertise and influence using their platform to promote something that's so important.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this second part of our deep dive. We've explored Dr. Ku's work with the World Customs Organization, his expertise in supply chain management and risk management, and his really deep commitment to sustainability. It's clear that he's making a real difference in the world. One data point, one Yi-Jing hexagram at a time.
It's been quite a journey, and we're not done yet.
Oh, that's right. In the final part of our deep dive, we're gonna talk about what all of this means for you, for our listeners. What are the key takeaways? What can you apply to your own life? And maybe we'll even uncover some hidden gems of wisdom that Dr. Ku has shared along the way.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We're in the final stretch of our exploration of Dr. Yen-Hui Ku's work. It's been pretty amazing.
It really has. We've covered so much, from ancient Chinese texts to AI, from global trade and supply chains to the mysteries of the universe.
I know, right? It's like my brain is doing somersaults trying to keep up with it all. But it's been so fascinating. We've talked about his background, his research, that incredible Yi-Jing curriculum he's put together, and even his personalized services, where he's helping people apply these principles to their own lives.
Yeah, and I think throughout this whole journey, it's become clear that he's a real trailblazer. He's not afraid to think outside the box, and he's really pushing the boundaries of how we understand our world.
Absolutely. But before we wrap things up, I'd love to hear your thoughts on what all this means for our listeners.
Mm-hmm.
What are the big takeaways? What can people actually apply, in their own lives?
That's a great question. I think one of the biggest takeaways is the power of thinking across disciplines. Not getting stuck in one way of looking at things. Dr. Ku's work really shows that sometimes the most valuable insights come from connecting things that you wouldn't that you wouldn't normally think go together.
Yeah, it's like he's encouraging us to break down those mental walls we build between different fields and just see the bigger picture.
Exactly. And he's showing us that ancient wisdom can still be so relevant today, and that when we blend it with modern technology, with cutting edge tools, we can come up with new solutions, new ways of looking at things.
It's a good reminder that learning is a lifelong process, and that we should always be curious, be open to exploring new ideas, even if they seem a little bit strange at first.
Yeah, and I also think Dr. Kua's work really highlights the importance of being data literate. In today's world, we're bombarded with information all the time, but it's so important to be able to look at that data, to analyze it critically. See the patterns, see what's really going on, and then use that information to make good decisions.
Yeah, he's a big advocate for data-driven decision making, whether it's in finance and managing supply chains, or even just in our own personal lives.
And let's not forget, his emphasis on sustainability. He's not just talking about it. He's actually out there doing the work. Trying to make sure that businesses operate sustainably, and that we create a future that's good for everyone. It's a reminder that we all have a role to play in that.
Absolutely, his work is a real call to action. It's inspiring us to think beyond ourselves, beyond our immediate circumstances, and really consider the impact of our choices. On the world around us, on the future.
It is, yeah. It's showing us that we can make a difference.
Yeah.
Both as individuals and as a collective. But beyond these practical takeaways, I think Dr. Ku's work also offers something else. It offers a sense of hope, a sense of possibility.
I agree. Yeah. It's so refreshing to see someone who's so passionate about knowledge and about exploring new ideas and about making the world a better place.
He's a good reminder that even in a world that can feel, chaotic and uncertain, there's still so much beauty and wisdom to be found. There are connections to be made, and there are solutions out there waiting to be discovered.
It's a beautiful message, and one that I think really resonates with a lot of people. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what final thoughts would you like to leave our listeners with?
I would just encourage them to stay curious, question your assumptions, and never stop exploring. Dr. Kua's work is a testament to the power of lifelong learning and the transformative potential of connecting ideas that might seem unrelated at first.
Beautifully said. It's been a real pleasure exploring the work of Dr. Yan-Hui Kuo. We've learned so much about his unique approach, his groundbreaking research, and his commitment to making the world a better place.
It has been a real privilege to share this deep dive with you.
And with you, dear listener. We hope you've enjoyed this exploration, and maybe you've even picked up a few nuggets of wisdom along the way. And if you're interested in learning more, definitely check out Dr. Ku's YouTube channel and explore his free Yi-Jing curriculum. You might be surprised at what you discover.
And as always, stay curious, keep exploring, and never stop learning.